It took some time, but Sir Topham Hatt soon trusted Philip and eventually gained some level of trust once more. Through this trust, he was able to let him out for small excursions along the branch lines. He was a cheerful sight to everyone he met. Most of the big engines liked him, except for Gordon. But there was someone else that Philip also hadn't gotten on his good side, and that was James. He still thought Philip was a nuisance. One day, James came into the yard with his coaches. Then Philip rushed over to him.
James, look how many trucks I can shunt,
he said, wanting someone to give him attention. Oh, Philip, you're not as strong as me. I bet I can pull more trucks than you.
But I'm still a stronger engine.
Oh, please. I bet I could pull 2 goods trains together and not struggle.
I'd like to see you try,
said Philip cheekily. You know what? Let's make this a real challenge. Whoever can deliver a long goods train and then come back the fastest wins.
All right, I'll go make some arrangements.
James was sure he'd win. He huffed away to go and arrange a train himself. James popped into the harbor to find some trucks. He looked for the biggest ones he could find. Soon, he had many long vans and flatbeds that were scheduled to be taken out, as well as some trucks at the back. That's sure to beat Philip. Duck came up, surprised at the long train. James, what are you doing? Proving a point? How? Philip said I couldn't pull such a heavy train, but this should prove him wrong. James, that's much too heavy for you. That's a train Henry should be pulling. Besides, I'm sure Philip was just teasing. Oh, Duck, you don't know how strong I really am. If you say so. And Duck left, grinning to himself. Soon the guard's whistle blew, and James began to pull. His wheels slipped, and he strained and wheezed. He was able to make it, just barely. Thomas arrived at the station with his coaches later on. Edward was also there. Edward, have you seen James? Indeed I did. I saw him struggling through the station with a long line of trucks. I asked him if he needed any help, but he told me he could do it. Oh dear, something is definitely up. Duck told me about... Before Thomas could finish, they heard Philip's horn.
Hi, Thomas. Hi, Edward. Look at all these trucks.
But they're empties, observed Thomas.
I know, but still more than James.
And Philip continued on his way. Oh, young engines. They've got so much enthusiasm in them.
You know, Philip reminds me of a certain blue tank engine in his younger days.
Thomas blushed. Then he had an idea. Hey, Philip! Philip! Wait up!
Oh! What is it?
Back when I was young, I used to know all the shortcuts of this railway. You want to beat James? Well, there's an old quarry line that goes around Gordon's Hill and under a bridge nearby. Surely James will have trouble with all those trucks on the hill. So if you want a surefire way to beat him, then use that line.
Of course! Thank you, Thomas. I better be off now. Thank you again.
And Philip merely scampered off.
I knew you still had it in you,
smiled Edward. I'm not sure cheekiness ever leaves you, replied Thomas cheerfully. Meanwhile, James had made it to Gordon's Hill. He felt the drag of the trucks here. It was getting harder by the pop. The trucks weren't helping either. Come on, come on! I must do it, I must! Just when he thought he was coming to a stop, he reached the top of the hill. Hooray! It's easy now! But the weight of the trucks was too much, and they pushed him down the hill. Oh no! He raced to the station at the bottom of the hill. Help! Oh, help! 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 Run away! Help! But then there was more trouble. Oh, I must stop! When James opened his eyes, he gasped. He was teetering off the edge of the bridge. Help! Help! Someone help! He called. Don't worry, James. I'll get us some help, called his driver, and quickly hurried to find the nearest workman's cottage. James continued to cry for help, He dare not move so as not to fall below. Help! Someone? Anyone? But no one came. Philip, meanwhile, was taking Thomas's shortcut.
I can't wait to see James's face,
He said cheekily. Thank goodness! Help at last! Philip rolled under the bridge, only to find...
James! Whatever happened?
Philip! Don't get any closer! I need you to rush to the next station before... Suddenly, James felt himself moving. Philip! Move! Now! Cried James frantically.
Oh no!
When Philip opened his eyes, he found James perched up on his cab. Phew! Philip, are you all right?
I think so.
How are you able to hold me? You're only a little engine.
I told you, I'm a very strong engine.
James was speechless. Well, thank you.
Well, there's nothing I can do now, is there?
Indeed, laughed James. Soon enough, Duck arrived with the breakdown train to help get James off of Philip. Well, well, what do we have here? You're lucky you're in one piece, James, and you have Philip to thank for that. I know. Thank you, Philip. I'm sorry I doubted you.
That's all right.
Soon enough, engines came to help with taking things away. Don and Douglas came to take James's goods train, and Thomas came for Philip's empty trucks. Edward also arrived to take Philip and James to the works. Sir Topham Hatt was on board. James, he said sternly, you have been a very naughty engine. Not only did you put yourself and Philip in danger, but to think that you could pull all those trucks is ridiculous. What do you have to say for yourself? Nothing, sir. I feel very silly. I should hope so. You will go to the works, and then you will be placed on goods trains until you can prove to me that you can handle trucks. Aw, goods trains? Sir Topham Hatt furrowed his brow. I mean, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. That's what I thought. Sir Topham Hatt turned his gaze to Philip. Philip suddenly felt nervous. He knew he shouldn't have had the competition with James. But Sir Topham Hatt's message was brief. The damage is minimal, so you will go to the works and quickly receive the repairs you need, he explained. I would like to see you at the sheds this evening. Yes, sir, he gulped. As Sir Topham Hatt had said, the damage was minimal, so Philip was discharged from the works later that day. When he arrived, he had a big surprise. All the engines were cheering for him. Philip felt flattered, but the engines all quieted down when Sir Topham Hatt motioned for silence. Oh dear, what will he say? Philip thought to himself. While I am upset about the competition today, your efforts to help save James today have not gone unnoticed. I am also very appreciative of your work in the yards. With all this in mind, I have made a decision to let you stay on my railway. Would you like that? Philip hooted with joy.
I would love it, sir. Thank you, sir.
And all the engines cheered again. Philip went to rest in the siding next to Thomas. I take it my shortcut went well.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Thomas.
Hey, I would have been strong enough to save James. That was all you, Philip. The little diesel beamed from buffer to buffer. You know, Philip.
What?
I think Gordon wants to talk to you. Philip scurried over to the sheds as fast as his little wheels could carry him. He backed in next to Gordon, who was smiling. You know, Philip, you really aren't so bad after all. You made a very good effort today to rescue James, and that is worthy of being called an enterprising engine. Welcome to Sodal, Philip. I think you're worthy of a fresh start.
Thank you, Gordon. I like that very much. Now, how about a conversation about speed?
Absolutely. Now that list you had for me. And for the rest of the night, Gordon and Philip talked about adventures with the Express and speed and strength. Now, Philip works from the shunting yards and is a great friend to everyone. Sometimes, he takes small excursions so he can get out of the yard and explore the world. He is very proud, especially because he is an engine on Sir Topham Hatt's railway.